I just can't get away from a good time.
It sets up deep in the pocket. Goes down the field for Smith. Oh, he got it!
This ball is drilled to center field. Pilar at the wall. Gets there and hangs on.
Top shelf where mama hides the cookies.
This infield is a great wall of China. Nothing's getting past us. Good D behind you, Bry. Good D all around.
Get the garbage out of here.
He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's not always whether you win or lose. It's whether you're winning or losing.
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy. You get that through your head?
Welcome back to Sports Chatter. Our week-long absence is over. We are 100% healthy and ready to go. We are your hosts, Brandon Bax.
And Patrick Reed.
It's Wednesday, March 29th, and we got a big show lined up. We got a lot to catch up on since we were off last week. NCAA into the Final Four. We're going to talk about that along with the NBA playoff races and how Patrick owes me a round of golf after that. NHL playoff races are heating up, and spring training officially over. The Blue Jays, they get underway in 5 days. So we're going to talk about all that and more. Stick around. Sports Chatter starts up right now.
Don't travel, don't double dribble. I want a good clean game and no back talk.
I figured since I'm going to be like Mike, I might as well dress like Mike, you know.
Lowry, half-court heave, a prayer at the buzzer. Oh!
Hey, stop hogging it, Mike. We're your teammates.
How do you intend to match up to the Squire's strong inside game?
It's a great question. Tomorrow, after the game, Jackie Moon, will wrestle a bear.
Yes, both of our brackets are completely busted to smithereens. I mean, I at least still have a winner in there with the
some of our
Dogs.
brackets lasted a little longer than others. Let me just say that. But yeah, March Madness.
That's what it's all about, though.
It's wrapping up finally. It's not my favorite time of year, but for basketball fans overall, it's a good time. It's a good time. Lots of upsets, lots of surprises. I mean, who would have thought South Carolina was going to be in there?
Go Cox.
Yeah, I mean, what is a gamecock? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's a rooster.
Well, but it's just this is a weird name for
it's just something silly. They like their
and the logo isn't even that,
isn't it?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure it's a rooster, bud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways, my Ducks are still rolling along. We got the Final Four this weekend going, both games. Gonzaga versus South Carolina, and Oregon versus UNC.
So we won't ask me who I got, but who do you got?
Oh, I've got Oregon. I gotta stick with Oregon. Gotta go with the Ducks. Canadian content.
So you got the Ducks moving over North Carolina, who's actually had a pretty strong tournament as well in North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, they usually do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of those. I mean, the South Carolina is the real surprise here.
Mm-hmm.
Another honorable mention, Xavier. Who saw them coming out there? Did well. Michigan as well until they ran up against those Oregon Ducks. But
Gonzaga, first time in the Final Four.
Oh, really?
I believe it's the first time in program history they've made it to the Final Four.
Well, there you go, then.
That's a kind of a big
Northwestern won their first game.
Yep.
That screwed everybody, right?
Yeah,
from the
right on the first day.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's so. Who do you have going into the Final Four? I guess, or to the Final Two to face off with Oregon?
I've got Oregon, and then I had Villanueva.
Okay. So who do you think is going to be South Carolina or Gonzaga? Who do you think is going to?
That's a tough one. I guess.
Gonna ride the high of the underdog or go with the number one?
I think I gotta go Cox.
Okay. So you have South Carolina and Oregon in the finals. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think Oregon would probably win. I'll go with the Canadian content as well. I'll go with Oregon winning that,
Who you got
game as well.
Versus Gonzaga.
Oh, South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
We're going the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to go upset at this point because I picked too many number ones in my bracket.
Yeah, so. You had Villanueva going all the way.
I had them winning and they ended up losing in
second round.
Second round, yeah. So you just never know in these tournaments.
Nope.
So we'll recap the whole tournament next week when we have an eventual winner, and by then the NBA will be that much closer to the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to get into right now.
Absolutely. Playoff races in hot pursuit right now. Those Cleveland Cavaliers are getting hunted down. What are they?
I mean, they've lost 4 of their last 6. They're struggling. They're struggling. LeBron, I mean, I don't know if he's complaining for more help. He can't get any more help at this point. But they haven't been in second place this late in the season since, what was it, the stat of like 2014 or 2013? Something crazy like that.
Just long enough.
But, I mean, yeah, and really I think this is, in the end, if Boston does finish first, this is going to hurt the Raptors more than it more than the Cavaliers, just because the Raptors are only a game behind Washington. And if they continue on their pace, the Raptors will finish third. If we win our first round matchup, we got to face off with those Cavaliers again.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? People are saying, are they sliding or are they waiting to flip the switch? I mean, I think they're just sliding. Like, and you know what? It might not be a bad thing going up against those Cavaliers. I mean, you've seen the vulnerability. I know I've been preaching nobody's going to beat the Cavs. Nobody's going to beat the Cavs.
And I don't think anyone can beat them either. But
I mean, they got a chink in the armor here, and maybe we're seeing it.
Yeah.
Maybe LeBron's finally wearing down. I mean, he's still playing the most minutes in the NBA overall. And at his age, he's put some hard miles on that body.
He sure has. So
he's
maybe
a freak, but
so you're thinking maybe this year is the year they do slip up in the playoffs
because
they are a team, and I never want to bet against LeBron. They are a team that can turn it on.
I look at Golden State. Yeah. Look at what's happening with them after a star who wasn't even there last year has gone down. I mean, you'd figure they'd just keep rolling along, but I mean, they're floundering as well.
Yeah. They had Golden State also faces off tonight against the San Antonio Spurs again. So
how many stars in that game?
There should be a whole lot of. That's a whole other conversation right there. But there should be some stars playing against each other in this one. San Antonio is now 2.5 games back after they briefly took over first place in the West a couple weeks back there. But back to the Raptors. They're getting DeMarre Carroll back tonight. They're playing Charlotte. They have a chance to even up with Washington.
Yeah, they should be able to win that game, although Charlotte always plays them hard.
They sure do. And, I mean, the last time the Raptors played Charlotte, they had to have a massive
When did they switch back?
Switch back to what?
The Hornets.
Was it last year or the year before?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They need to do something.
Doesn't matter what the team name is. Charlotte always plays us really tough. But, I mean, in the playoffs, I know a lot can happen before the second round. I mean, but upsets or whatever, but I mean Boston right now is rolling. I'd rather play Boston
you very rarely see upsets in the NBA.
Yeah,
I mean the top seeds usually get there in the end. You got to watch out for those Pacers though. They played us really hard last year, and I mean they're always right there. Paul George can take over a game. He's got that star power. Atlanta, I mean Millsap has been in and out of the lineup, but they're still a fairly good team. Even with the trades they made, and I mean, a lot of people thought they were selling off the farm, but it just seems they've kept on.
They have really slid. They have slid in the last in the last little bit here. They've gone 3-7 in their last 10. The Hawks have, and Milwaukee might be the opponent for the Raptors if the Raptors stay at 4. Yeah. But either way, I mean, all the 4 teams that are there: Miami, Indiana, Milwaukee, Atlanta. They're all kind of iffy teams. You never know what's going to happen, and that's one of those teams is going to be in the 4-5 matchup. The Raptors don't jump up to that number 3 spot. So it'll be very interesting to see where everybody kind of finishes out to see who is going to be playing who.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a nice tight race right to the end there, and we'll see how the Raptors kind of see if they can keep this defensive game rolling.
Well, the defense is really improved. It's improved, and Carroll.
PJ Tucker has been a
PJ
beauty.
Tucker's been awesome. Carroll is back, who's supposed to be pretty decent defensively. He hasn't had the greatest season, but I mean seasons. But the last quarter of the game, the best 5 are playing for Dwayne Casey, and it's always Ibaka, it's always Tucker.
Yeah,
and those better defensive players there for sure. And JV's still kind of struggling to get into some fourth quarter minutes there. Maybe just because he can't play the defensive game that Ibaka and them can.
Well, yeah, he doesn't have the intensity, it seems.
So, the Raptors and Charlotte tonight. And another Raptor news, Kyle Lowry has finally started shooting with his right wrist, not just his left wrist, but his right wrist. He's taken shots, and with, I believe there's only about 8 games left, you hope to see him in how many, 4?
Yeah,
3 or 4?
I'd like to see 3 or 4. Just get used to PJ Tucker and Serge Ibaka. I mean, he's going to be distributing the ball as usual, but you kind of get a few reps in, and practice doesn't quite do game justice, right?
But what I really like is that he has been with the team for all the games. He's on the sidelines. He's mini coaching with Casey. He's in on all the huddles. He's seen the plays, so he knows.
His nose in there.
So he knows where everybody's going to be. It's just a matter of getting into game speed.
Yeah, it's either get the ball to Kyle or get the ball to DeMar, right?
Pretty much.
Although I will say they have been passing Lamar. I have noticed that.
Yeah, well, with Ibaka too, I think it forces them to because someone's going to be left open. So they have to find that open guy because now they have 3 3 or 4, options that can actually score.
Exactly. I mean, even Tucker's been hitting those threes pretty good.
Exactly. And if you're going to leave somebody open, I guess the other team's going to leave Tucker open.
Yeah.
Out of all the shooters they have.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
So, yeah, it's just a matter of finding them, and we'll see.
I mean, I'd like to play the quarterbacks as well, especially DeLon Wright.
Yeah.
He's been real solid. And Norman Powell, he's stepped up his game quite a bit. Love it.
And Corey Joseph hasn't been bad. I mean, he's been as good as you can ask a backup to be playing 30 to 40 minutes a night, that Kyle would be playing.
He's been all right.
He's been all right. So do you think this kind of leads into the off season where they keep Corey and then Kyle moves on? Or do they let Kyle, or what was I saying? Sign Kyle and maybe trade Corey for a salary cap relief, right?
I don't know. I think this is an audition. I mean, we've seen with those 2 additions of Ibaka especially, they don't need Kyle Lowry per se. It's going to be a tough one for Masai. Like, if Lowry doesn't sharpen his numbers up, and get a little unselfish, they could walk away from him.
They could, yeah. The only thing that if they did lose him, they would have to gain some kind of 3-point presence, because he is really their only big-time threat from behind the arc. But DeLon Wright could maybe add that into his game. Melo, yeah. Jeez. Maybe go out to the Lakers or something for him. Finish off his career.
Absolutely. Should we move along here?
Yeah, I think. I mean, other than the next couple games for the Raptors, just to see kind of where they end up in this race here. We'll keep an eye on them, and we'll keep an eye on the Eastern Conference standings as we go here.
Absolutely.
Right.
Speaking of playoffs,
we're going to get into anher big playoff race that seems to be even tighter, and the Leafs are just winning games. It just seems.
Well, it's tight. It's all right.
We're going to get into some NHL hockey coming up.
Listen up. We're still in this thing. We just need a quick one. Listen up, Cash! We got to work harder than them, okay?
What is icing?
Well, icing happened when the puck come down, bang, before the other guys.
Doesn't count unless you go Bardowski.
You gotta go Bardowski, Schmelt.
It's knuckle puck time.
Yes, those playoff races are heating up in the NHL. Can you believe this Eastern Conference standings?
I mean, with the new format, I don't really like the format, but I can't believe it. I believe it.
I hate that the New York Rangers have, 97 points, more than anybody else in the Atlantic Division.
And they've clinched a spot as a top wildcard team, or a playoff team in general, and no team in our Atlantic Division has clinched anything yet.
That's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable to me to think about that.
How do you have more points than the top team in the other division?
And in the West, it's a lot more balanced. You don't see that really at all. But I mean, the dominant teams this year, there's 4 teams in the East that could be top teams in the West. So this year, it's all in the East, where it used to be in the West, right?
Yeah, it's been a big momentum, or a big switch there from, years ago it was just the West is going to take it, the West is going to take it. But, you see out West, they do play the playoff brand of hockey. They've got that big
every night
grinding game every night of the week.
Yep.
Whereas, the East seems more skill focused, that kind of thing. And it's always a great battle in the playoffs there. We saw last year the skill kind of won out over the grinding nature of those San Jose Sharks with the Pittsburgh Penguins. But your Maple Leafs, they're looking sharp.
Yeah, they had a big time 4-2 victory over the Florida Panthers last night, a game in which many people said they had to win. Their last 4 games of the year are going to be a meat grinder. They've got Washington, they've got Columbus, they've got Pittsburgh, and who was the other one?
Nashville.
Nashville's next. But yeah, the last 4 games of this season are going to be Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay are the last 4 games of the year. So, those are all teams that are in the playoffs fighting for a spot.
That was a huge win last night with McElhinney, and now he stepped up big. Yeah. And it's not like he didn't lose the game for him. He kept them in it.
No, and I think he kind of played the way that I thought he was going to play, give up a couple goals on 20-plus shots or whatever, but he made big
saves. If you look at his numbers, in less games, he's... obviously not trying to say it, but he's got similar numbers to Freddie Anderson as far as save percentage and goals against. They're both 280.
Career?
No.
Or this season?
This season.
Well, this season, Freddie...
he was acquired.
Yeah. Since he was acquired, yeah.
The deadline.
Because Freddie,
less games, obviously, so skew that as you weigh. But I mean, he is a decent goalie. He's 33 years old. He's a veteran backup presence in there.
He's a veteran.
He can hold it down.
There's a reason though that teams cut him and that he's a backup is because he's only got a career 900 save percentage.
Had to cut somebody.
Yeah.
That's just his MO.
Yeah, he had to. But it was our game, though. I mean, in the end, like, we got a backup now that is above 500 backup. I mean, it's better than throwing a rookie in there and hoping for the best,
Where
right?
is the old backup? Where is he? Is he, I can't even remember his name. Enroth. Is he in the minors?
Enroth. Did they
send him down?
Did they not?
They traded him?
I thought they traded him.
I thought they sent him down to the AHL.
Well, he's probably not playing down there either.
No, probably not too much.
But yeah, the Leafs, again, they had to get...
Kasperi Kapanen.
They had to get the win, and they got it. Kasperi Kapanen, I mean, he was penalty killing.
Yeah.
Like, he's playing some fourth line minutes. He was okay.
I mean, we'll see if he can keep the grind going. Sounds like, is he going to be in tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
They got a couple injuries, right? Yeah.
Babs liked him on the penalty.
Not quite as much as Hyman, but...
No. No, but I mean, that's kind of an interesting one, too. Like, Hyman's kind of a grinder, but Kasperi is a guy that could play with Matthews.
Well, he could.
He's a speedster. I mean, this is a second-line talent.
I don't know if you like him on the first line, though.
No, not yet.
Right?
But, I mean, this is a guy that's going to be a top 6
He scored that huge goal for Sweden there a couple of years ago. Or Finland? Finland, yes.
Finland, yeah.
In the World Juniors.
To win the World Juniors for them.
Yeah, speaking of Matthews, your boy.
Yep,
knocking off your other boy.
He finally broke Wendell Clark's rookie record of 34 goals in a season. Got number 35 last night. With still 8 games to go.
Did he have 32 fights, though? Because I'm pretty sure Wendell had 32 fights.
No, but I did see the stat. Wendell had 230-something penalty minutes. Austin Matthews has 14.
Wow.
So he's not exactly the enforcer. Not that he has to be at all. I'm not saying Austin Matthews.
Get your minutes up. Get those fists going.
Matthews does not have to be an enforcer, but I'm saying he could get 40. I mean, he'd really have to turn it on at this point, but he could get 40.
4 in one night. I think he could do it.
Yeah, he could. I've liked
the way.
Do they
play Ottawa again?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so. There goes 4 goals.
There it goes.
But I do like the way he's played. I like the way all the Leafs rookies. I mean, Marner's only 1 assist off the record as well for 41 assists. So I mean, he could be getting that any of these games coming up here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like we were saying, they had to get the win against Florida. Now they have to get a win against Nashville. Nashville is a bit
must win here on out. Is it?
Well, I don't think it's must win, but like they need to have points in 4 of 8 games at least in order to get to the 93.
All right.
Because they're 6 points off.
Is that the magic number? 93.
93 is the floated around magic number right now to get in. Now, if they want to finish 3rd in that Atlantic, it might have to be like 95 or something.
Yeah, you'd kind of like to finish 3rd in that Atlantic, avoid that Washington matchup.
Exactly. So they've been rolling. Other teams that have been rolling, and
if they get in the playoffs, you think they can do something?
Against Ottawa, yes. Against Washington, I think they would push them. Montreal, we haven't won against Montreal in like 3 years. I don't think that we would. I don't honestly, even in the playoffs, I don't think we'd win a game against them, and it would be a really good lesson for those kids. I just don't think they would. We don't match up.
You don't think you could outscore Montreal?
Carey Price,
would
be the difference for sure in that series.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Carey Price and the Montreal Canadiens, we were going to touch on it in the injury note as well, but Al Montoya has gone down with a groin injury, so he's been playing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And the Canadiens they've strengthened their hold on the division lead by 4 points there.
Well, beating Ottawa there twice in a row kind of helps that.
3 times in a row now, I believe they beat them. Yeah. So it's like it's Montreal's division now. Ottawa is just kind of hoping for that home ice and second spot at this point, I think.
Al Montoya always reminds me of the movie The Princess Bride.
Why?
Well, my name is Diego Montoya.
Yeah. But that injury report preview right there, Montoya. I don't know how long he's going to be out for.
It sounds like it might be day to day.
Groin injury for a goalie, you never know. But
yeah. Other playoff news: Oilers first time in 10 years.
Yep, getting in. Scroll down here to the Western Conference standings here. Yeah, the first time in 10 years. So it's got to be
huge.
And was the last time they were in the playoffs that run to the finals?
Yep.
Run to the finals. So it's been. I mean, the Oilers fans, just like the Leaf fans, they really deserve some playoff action.
Well, absolutely, and I mean, with the 10 years that they've had since, it's been rough out there.
It really has been rough.
But I mean, when you have a guy like McDavid, you know it's going to turn around, and it has. I mean, they could even make a run at the top spot there in the Pacific.
95 points, and then San Jose and Edmonton both have 93. So
absolutely.
that's anybody's
Do you think
division
they can make noise in the playoffs?
Just very similar to the Leafs, though they have a more dynamic number one option,
Right?
I think, in McDavid. They could. But if they play a team like the Ducks, who kind of had their number this year, I think.
Yeah, although
I don't know.
Who knows if Ryan Getzlaf, he's been in another lineup there with some lower body issues.
Yeah.
I mean, they might just be pulling a NBA here and saving them for the playoffs, but they're aging. They've got a good young D-corps, but those forwards are aging and fast. I mean, Perry and Getzlaf, who really run that team, have put a lot of miles on their bodies. I mean, San Jose looks poised to get another run, but especially with the way Brent Burns is playing. But those forwards as well, Marleau and Thornton, they've got some hard miles on them too.
Maybe just for this year, I think the age and experience for the Ducks and the Sharks would be enough to get them through against teams like Calgary and Edmonton. But once you get to next year, this youth, these guys are going to be raring to beat these older teams, and they just might do it.
Do you mean San Jose, not Calgary? Because Calgary's just about as young as Edmonton.
Well, no, I mean like Edmonton and Calgary will be teams that might get knocked off quite early this year, but they're going to be ready to go in the next few years. Yeah,
Minnesota could make some noise as well, I think.
Yeah, but they've really fallen off. They've been really falling off lately, though.
That's true.
1-7-2.
It would be nice to see Nashville win a few rounds here.
Yep.
I always like Nashville.
I like Nashville, and I think that, Pekka Rinne, great goalie. I mean, he's kept them in plenty playoff series, but just a matter of getting scoring there.
He's so spotty, though, that Pekka Rinne, and I mean, he gets hurt at a drop of a hat, too. Speaking of injury, sorry, I just want to throw this out this real quick before I forget. Sounds like a guy we talked about a couple of weeks ago, David Clarkson. Sounds like he's done for good.
Done.
Yeah. The back issue's just too much. So that means dead money for the Leafs.
For Horton, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately for the Leafs, the Horton contract was not insured, so they're paying that out in full. Mm-hmm. But sounds like David Clarkson is going to end up coaching a local team in Columbus there.
Interesting.
High school team, which I mean, good. You want to stay in the game, that kind of thing. And I mean, all the power to him, and I hope he kind of has himself a better life here than the last.
Because you don't want to try and come back and be crippled the rest of your life.
Exactly. We talked about it. You can barely get out of bed some days, right? So throw that out there. Thoughts and prayers with him, kind of thing. But
very similar to Horton's injury too, with the back, right? You know,
exactly.
Like he may never play again either, so.
Right?
Yep.
Yep. Sounds like Detroit.
They're not going to make it.
They're not. It doesn't sound like it. They're definitely not going to make it. First time in 25 years.
I mean, as we're saying, Edmonton first time in 10 years, first time in 25 years.
Yeah.
Detroit's not going to
make it. I've never known. Well, I mean, I was 2 the last time they didn't make the playoffs.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean, it's not really the playoffs without the Red Wings, even though the last few years they haven't been good.
Yes, it was 1990 when the playoffs started, so that's when we were. Well, I was born in 90.
Yep.
You're 91, so we've never known playoffs without Detroit.
It's crazy. But that team is a team in rebuilding now. I guess they're going to have to start from the bottom, kind of like.
That's a tough one. Like, as much as they do well in the draft, they haven't been overly able to get those top prospects lately. Like Anthony Mantha looks pretty good, Dylan Larkin, that kind of thing. But they're aging stars, and they've just been too good for too long. Like. You know, right in that middling, 8 seeds. So the lowest they finished in the league was 16th. So they get those crappy Leaf-type picks.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, you can only find so many gems in so many fourth rounds, right?
There's only a couple Datsukes every 100 years or so.
And they've exhausted all of their bullets. Detroit's going to be down in the bottom of the standings for a few years now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple teams I did want to touch on before we move on. Carolina and the Islanders, both still... kind of going in different directions, but both still in the wild card race in the East. Carolina 7-0-3 in their last 10 games, and the Islanders just trying to hang in. So I mean, there's a whole lot of teams vying for one playoff spot right now.
Absolutely. It could be quite the shuffle of the deck here in the next few weeks, depending on wins and losses. And I mean, this is a time of year that you're scoreboard watching as a player, even trying to figure out where you guys are settling in.
And what is crazy is we talk so much about teams and the race and the teams trying to get to that last playoff spot. I know it's hockey and anybody can beat anybody, but the amount that we've talked about 5 teams vying for one spot and then they're going to get just crushed by Washington very, very quickly, most likely. It's crazy how quickly that run is over for any of these teams that just barely make it when they could easily just say, you know what, we're not probably going to make it. Let's sell off a couple guys, move down a few spots, and fast
No wins for
forward the
Nolan?
rebuild. No wins for Nolan. Well, it looks like New Jersey is going to kind of lock up him. But.
Yeah, for what? Colorado, man.
Colorado as
Right
well.
in
That's
there.
true. Colorado
Right
is
in there.
even
Love
worse.
It, love it.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I just wanted
NHL-wise.
to, we got to talk about this Sidney Crosby situation.
Oh, well, I guess we'll do the slashing
The
first
slashing,
before we move
the
on.
nutcracker. What are you doing, Sid?
I don't think it's
Yeah,
quite...
it's blown out of proportion because it is Sidney Crosby. I mean, those plays happen all the time, but because it's Sidney Crosby, they make top story on all the highlights show just because he is Sidney Crosby. But you see that all the time. The whack on the hand, that's unfortunate. I mean, I love Method. I think he's a real player.
Let's reset here and kind of talk about what exactly happened if people don't exactly know. Sidney Crosby, the
It's
one
all
game
over the
against
internet.
Buffalo.
They haven't seen it by now.
Yeah,
Come on.
right. He had a little balls tap, I guess you would
Yeah,
say, on
yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly, and then
Yeah.
O'Reilly said, it's fine, it's a hockey play, whatever. And then the next game against Ottawa, he does a glove tap, which the NHL allows players to do.
Yeah.
Right now, as of right now, they do.
Well,
glove
it's supposed to be a slash, but it never gets called.
So it cuts off basically part of Mark Method's finger, and Eugene Melnick absolutely loses it post game. Says he's gonna.
He needs to take a joke.
Says he's gonna. He should be gone for I don't know how many.
At the end of the
games he
season,
said.
he should be sitting on the.
He should be
sitting on the.
kicked out of the league,
watching TV on the couch.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a hockey play. It just happens all the time, but injuries like that never really.
No,
happen.
well, you saw it earlier with Johnny Gaudreau.
Oh yeah.
Eric Stahl gave him a love tap on the hands there, broke his finger. He was out for a couple weeks, weeks, 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, I mean, just two issues that happen at the same time really magnified the situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like nobody was calling for Eric Stahl's head.
No.
And then it's because Sidney Crosby did it, people were upset. But I love Sid. I think he's a great player. He's not above the law and getting suspended, but I don't think he did anything that would be worth getting suspended.
No, I mean,
so.
I really anybody else makes a play, nobody talks about it.
Exactly.
Like, it never even gets shown on the highlights. Like, it's...
Exactly.
Oh, that's disgusting. Mark Method's
Yeah.
fingers hanging off. And then you move on.
Yeah. But, it was a very interesting week for Sid.
Yeah, absolutely. But I topped off with that beauty goal.
Yeah.
One-hand backhander.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, my girlfriend was actually at that game and saw it live, so I'm very, very jealous that she got to see Sidney score.
She probably wasn't even
that.
watching. She was probably busy Snapchat.
Probably half the stadium probably wasn't watching because it's Buffalo.
That's true.
We are actually going to move along now. We're going to move along to some MLB, the Jays.
Yeah.
Starting up in about 5 days.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into that right after this.
Hitting is not about muscle. It's simple physics.
Do you drug test the players?
No. On into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside.
You stink, Strawberry! We want home run homers! Daryl. Hey, Yankees! You can take your apology out of your trophy and shove it straight up your ass!
Yes, it is MLB wrapping up the Grapefruit League and spring training in general. Season is starting on Sunday night. And the Jays play Monday in Baltimore.
Yep, and then Monday and Wednesday, I think you said, in
Monday,
Baltimore.
Wednesday, yeah.
And then
they have to have that day in between because of crappy weather. There's no dome in Camden.
True.
Or like Camden Yards.
True.
Sorry, in Baltimore.
And another year in
That's
the
why
books
they do
in
that.
Dunedin. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Absolutely,
But,
just in case rain or
at the
snow
very
or
beginning of
something.
every year. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
If you don't have a dome, you kind of have that day to play with.
That's normally why they start the season in Tampa, I think.
Oh, yeah. They got a dome there anyway.
Well, that's true, yeah. The Jays, another year in Dunedin, complete. Prospects have basically all shuffled where they're going to be. We don't have a final 25-man roster just yet to tell you.
Nope.
We will next week, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
hopefully.
A couple more games coming up in Montreal against the Pirates.
Yeah, huge games in Montreal. I mean, I think I love that.
Do we know who's starting those games?
I don't.
For the Jays. I guess it
They
would be.
probably do.
I guess it would be the last two starters.
Yeah.
That'll be in the rotation.
Yeah, Sanchez and Liriano, right? Or
Okay.
Liriano then Sanchez?
Because Estrada is the opening day starter against
Yes.
Baltimore, which makes sense because he pitches well against Baltimore.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely.
good. Yep. What do you think of the spring training in general this year?
You can't really take a whole lot of stock in the spring training. I mean, the guys are just kind of getting the feel of it. Not everybody plays every day.
With the Classic, it really kind of made it different because
did.
people were shuffling in, shuffling out,
Yeah.
not playing for the Jays as much as they probably
Absolutely.
want them.
I mean, I think it's going to take another month into the season before everything really kind of gets it going. I mean, I'll be interested to see how the how the batting order runs out, who they're going to throw at the leadoff and the 2 hole. I'd like to see Tulo almost start at the 2. Just get him a few more bats up early.
Yeah, I think overall this Jays team is an old veteran team that there wasn't a lot of position battles, so there wasn't really much to play for in spring training anyways. There could have been more, but I mean they still have enough of a veteran lineup where everybody has their spot already. So it's like
it was pretty much left field and
first base, and it was internal competition for between Upton, Carrera, and Smoke.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it looks like those guys
throw it out the wall and see what hangs out.
Those are going to be the guys, and then I don't know how much leash you give guys like Justin Smoke or Upton, but we were talking about another left fielder before we move on to the lineup. Is Angel Bacan possibly signing or hopefully signing? He's going to sign somewhere.
Yeah.
He said he was going to within the next couple days.
He'd be good. I mean, I don't even know if the Jays even went after him, but he'd be a good leadoff guy as well. He gets on base. He's got some speed on the bases, that kind of thing.
Which we don't have a lot of anyways.
No, he's none, really.
Yeah, Travis, and that's about it.
Yeah, and even him, suspect at best.
Careful with the knee.
Yeah, exactly. The knee, the shoulder.
Slide into second, the first game of the season, and, he's done for the year. So.
Exactly.
The batting order.
Gibbons gets 3-year extension.
Gibbons gets a 3-year extension. He's a great manager for this team because it's a veteran team. He lets them do their thing, and he
doesn't seem to care.
He manages the bullpen very well too. Because being a catcher, he manages the bullpen. He brings the pitchers in when they need to be brought in at these specific times they need to be brought in for matchups.
I just think he throws it at the wall, see what sticks.
You don't think he has no strategy at all?
No.
Osuna in the 6th.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what Pete Walker's for.
And that's why a lot of pitchers like to come here is for Pete Walker.
Yeah. He's great.
The pitchers love pitching with him because if there's a little flaw,
like
Jay Happ even said it.
Yeah.
Happ said it. He's like, he re-signed with Toronto because of Pete Walker.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Actually, Liriano has pitched really well. He's got a nice command of his slider.
Yeah, And when he's not overthrowing the baseball, which is he's not right now.
Exactly. I mean, he's coming back into that kind of the form with
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and he's going to be a dark horse for one of the better pitchers in this rotation. I mean, there's not really any weaknesses in the rotation, but I mean, I guess before we do the lineup, we'll go through the rotation then. Estrada starting first. It doesn't really matter what order at all because it's not best to worst.
After the first week,
it really doesn't matter.
It's all messed up.
So you've got Estrada, and then you've got who's the second?
Estrada Stroman, isn't it?
And then you go Happ,
Liriano Sanchez.
Yeah. And Sanchez had a bit of a blister problem in his last game anyway, so it's good that he's the 5th starter to start the season.
Yeah.
But they're talking possible Cy Young for Sanchez, but I mean the way he's pitched through spring training, I don't know why people would say that, but I mean he's going to have
last year.
He's going to have another dominant year for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Stroman had a
really strong game to close out the WBC there.
Yep, he's been lights out.
Yeah, absolutely.
He loves pitching. He loves pitching in those big games.
Yeah,
which is kind of why I was surprised they didn't have him as the number 1 starter.
Well, he did it last year, didn't he? He wasn't very good.
Oh, what? Okay. He maybe. Sure. I can't remember that far back.
Another fan favorite, been released by the White Sox there, Kawasaki Ninja.
You mean the Cubs?
Moon and Arrow. No, White Sox, wasn't he?
No, he was in the Cubs. He won a ring.
Oh, my bad. Chicago,
yeah. One of the Chicago teams. But the Cubs did release
Kawasaki
this week. I mean, if the Jays want to pick him up and send him to Buffalo for an extra guy that maybe can come up, I mean, I would be fine with it. But if we go through the order, the batting order of the Jays this year that John Gibbons will trot out, it's looking like 1 through 9, we're going Travis, Donaldson, Bautista, Morales, Tulowitzki, Martin, Pilar, Smoke, Upton.
Oof.
Or Upton Smoke, depending on the bottom 2.
Do you know what? I think they need to spread out those bad hitters.
The bad hitters? Do you mean the 8-9 hitter?
Yeah. Well, it's 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well, Martin.
He's not very good.
Well, I'd take Martin over. Well, I mean, Saltalamacchio would hit there too.
Yeah, he goes through spurts, Martin, I thought. Yeah. Couple weeks he's unreal, and then a couple weeks he's crappy, and then
look at most teams'
I don't know,
catchers.
Spread it out a little bit.
Look at most teams' catchers; they're probably hitting around 200. Martin is a 220 to 240.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that at the 6th spot.
But 7,
then you've
8,
got
9.
Pilar.
Well, he said he's going to take more pitches and not swing at everything, but who knows if that's going to actually happen. I mean, he's never seen a pitch he doesn't like.
The only real question marks in this lineup, because I don't mind Pilar either. I mean, if he wanted to,
the defense, it makes
really
up for the offense. Yeah.
But Upton and Smoke, we're gonna have to see how long they can last. But if Upton is platooning with Carrera's a leadoff guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy that gets on base. So you throw that at the 8th spot, that's fine. I'm okay with even the 9th spot, so that guys like Travis and Donaldson have somebody on base.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. But how long of a leash does Smoke have?
Not very long.
Because I mean, they signed him. But, I mean, if he's bad through April, May, you're going to have to put Morales at first, or you're going to have to do something.
No, Pierce.
Well, Steve Pierce, but he has also been injured.
Yeah, but I mean, he just can't throw from the outfield.
Yeah, so he won't be playing left, he'll be playing first.
Yeah. And you know what? Against the Blue Jays, sorry, this is completely off topic. And on a single, I'm going first or third every time. Like, let's challenge that arm from Bautista.
Oh, you mean opponents?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I think they for sure should do that. But I mean, we shouldn't give away any secrets on this program. You know, a lot of general managers are listening to this.
Absolutely.
But if Steve Pierce is healthy, and by all accounts he should be in April sometime. I don't know if he's going to be opening day, but I mean, the sports science guys have done a really good job with him, getting him healthy and getting ready. They're saying that Steve Pierce is an 80-game-a-year player, or he's a 155. It's one or the other.
Huh.
So it's like, if he's healthy, he's playing.
Signing.
If he's healthy, he's
Perfect
playing.
Signing.
If he's not,
absolutely,
then he plays half the games. So, and do you want him at first? I mean, I've seen Morales play first, and he's not bad either.
No.
I mean, he's not horrible.
I don't want any of them at first. I want Eddie at first.
Well, we can't be living in the past. We can't be living in the past. This is the lineup we got now that's going out.
Well, let's look into the future with the injury report and see who's coming back.
Awesome. It's coming up next.
Oh, look at that! Oh my goodness! They just dropped the stretcher. Oh my goodness!
I think I will.
And again, I have no idea what that is.
That's what you want to know?
Your manager said you were sick.
Yeah, I had a diarrhea.
So Bo Schultz, just to play off the whole MLB thing, looks like Tommy John surgery went well.
He had it today, yep. And hopefully he'll be back for next year at some point.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, he's not like he's one of the dominant relievers.
No, but he was good.
But he was good.
He was solid.
He was good for the
a
Blue
few
Jays.
innings.
He did, for sure. So, I mean, the Jays might miss him this year. Somebody else may have to step up, whether it be a Joe Smith or Ryan Tepera or something along that line to fill Bo Schultz's spot, because he was going to make the team, I believe.
Sure.
So, that's kind of unfortunate news for him. Bad timing, but is what it is. Pitchers, I mean, the Jays were
well, so that kind of explains it.
And the Jays were really lucky last year with pitchers and not having injuries. So maybe this will be the one that, the one bullet.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully the one Tommy John for this year.
Another Toronto team, Freddie Anderson. He went down with that awkward
concussion / jaw injury.
Whatever it was, yeah.
And apparently had a jaw injury last year too, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But he got whacked in the lower mask area.
Neck kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The doctor wasn't even on the trip, which is...
That's another thing we can talk about. But,
like, what the heck?
That was weird. But Anderson is he was on the ice again today for practice and an optional skate. He's going to travel with the team to Nashville. Tomorrow he will most likely start.
Yeah, they sent Sparks down, so it looks like he's good. Eddie Lack, that was scary.
He took a little bit of a run in the overtime winner against Detroit in Carolina a couple nights ago.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like that.
No,
I mean, with two teams standing on the ice on a game-winning goal, and I mean, I'm not sure the player that ran. He was flying, this kid, one of the Red Wings prospects, but just kind of hit him at the wrong angle, and his head kind of went back and into the post. And
that's
really a weird situation. They thought maybe like
concussion.
Concussion, or even getting paralyzed with the spine and the neck. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, they said the tests were all fine and that kind of thing, and he's gone home resting. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know if Carolina just shuts him down and says, like, you know what?
I mean, now they're in kind of a mini race, but they have Cam Ward, too. So
yeah,
he can play.
They've
been kind of splitting the duties in Carolina. And they're still in the race, but,
duties.
Oh, God. But we're glad that Eddie Lack is okay after all that, obviously.
Yeah, he gave the old thumbs up.
Yeah.
Speaking of thumbs up, Giovanco should be playing in the home opener, which goes
Friday night. Yep,
yeah.
The TFC's home opener Friday night.
That whole Charlie horse, I guess, has gone away.
It's gone away.
Massage therapy and eating some bananas to get his potassium level.
Love me some massage therapy. But he's going to be able to run. He's going to be able to run. That's key in soccer.
Hope. Yeah, that is. Actually, maybe we'll save that to the cleanup. I got another point about soccer.
Okay.
James Harden came down pretty hard on his wrist. They're hoping he's okay. But
I'm hoping for my fantasy team's sake he's okay because I'm in the semifinals right now, and he's my top player.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't look major, but neither did the Kyle Lowry thing.
That's
He's
true.
Been out. So
I think he might just play through it at this point.
Yeah.
They're almost the playoffs.
True enough.
Rockets. What's the point of resting at this point? You know.
Right.
Who else do we got?
Talking about Al
Montoya.
He's
day to day with the groin injury. Carey Price has already played a lot. He's going to have to play a lot more down the stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I don't even know who their third stringer would be.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Because it was Condon before, but now he's...
Yeah, he played a couple games. We'll trade you. You're probably fine.
Yeah. So we'll see how Montreal does with Carey starting the majority of the games.
Absolutely. You know who I think is playing hurt right now? Kopitar. He's been brutal down there in LA, and you really hope that it is just something minor.
It would explain the fact that they're not going to make the playoffs.
Well, exactly. I mean, he might have something come up when the season ends, and he's going to have to go for surgery, sports hernia or something. But I really hope for the LA Kings and Kopitar's sake that it is a minor injury, and this isn't the player that they're getting for the next 7 years at $10 million a year.
And it could be a result too for the amount of games that he's played.
Absolutely.
Over the amount of runs they've made to the Cup in the last few years, and obviously winning.
Doughty has had a down year as well over there.
They seem kind of to be like Chicago, where they go every other year good anyways. So maybe next year is their year again.
Right on.
That's it.
Speaking of next year, we'll head on down to the Healy report and see what's going on there.
Healy Watch coming up next.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cuts.
Danny Healy, I've been slumping. I'm an all-star, so.
Who is that?
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
You tried your best, and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try.
Now, who are you again?
This is everybody's favorite segment. This is the Heatley Watch, and who do we got this week that we're looking at?
Well, we've got ourselves a real beauty.
A real beauty.
Jamarcus Russell. Former Oakland Raiders first overall pick in 2007. He played 3 years with the Raiders. He went 7-18 record.
So did he really play? Or was he just out there?
Well, he was just out there.
He was just running around.
He was in between...
in between the tackles.
I was going to say in between burgers, but whatever. Calvin Johnson was actually picked second overall, which, he was a great player, but he retired really early, so who knows
and he never won a Super Bowl.
Well,
but yeah, Jamarcus, interestingly enough, where is he at now?
Oh, where is he at now? He was arrested for possession of codeine syrup in 2010 in his hometown of Mobile, Alabama. He worked out for the Bears in 2013. Lost 50 pounds, was in immaculate shape apparently, and the Bears still didn't want him. If the Bears don't want you, you're probably no good. And then even last year, he sent a letter to all the owners in the NFL saying, I want to come, I want to make a comeback, I'll play for free. No biters.
So, CFL?
CFL?
This is what ends up happening to all these guys. Rough Riders getting, what's his name?
Yeah.
Like all these washed up quarterbacks. Vince Young. All these washed up, Heatley washed quarterbraghts are going to go to the CFL.
Absolutely. We're still waiting on that.
We're a platform. We're a platform for these guys to get back into the game.
For sure. Alrighty.
Coming up next, we're going to get into our GOATs of the week.
Yes.
That's right after this.
So what you're saying is, we're at this level, but we got to get to this level.
I told you all that I was the greatest of all time.
A cool dude, a good teammate, good attitude about things, probably get some chicks.
Yes, this is the GOAT segment, the greatest of all time, at least for this week. Bax, who you got?
Well, I got a kid from Toronto this week, the savior they call him, Austin Matthews. He has passed Wendell Clark's rookie goal record, as we mentioned before earlier in the show.
That's gotta be sad for you. You love Wendell.
He was a great Leaf, I will say. But number 34 scored his number 35, his 35th goal of the season last night against Florida to pass Wendell's rookie record. All I have to say is, Austin, you only got 14 penalty minutes. You haven't quite gotten up to Wendell's 238. No fights.
Brutal.
But again, we don't need you to be an enforcer. Just score some more goals. Austin Matthews, you are my GOAT of the week.
My GOAT of the week comes from baseball, and specifically a front office. Little Brody Chernoff, son of Mike Chernoff, he's the general manager for the Cleveland Indians. He was at spring training with his dad, 6 years old, brought up into the broadcast booth, and one of the broadcasters asked if there was any deals going on, and he said, yeah, we're trying to get Lindor for another 7 years.
Well, that's just quite the intelligent kid there. Future
Absolutely.
GM.
Future GM in training. Maybe keep your mouth shut a little more, but we love you, Brody.
We love you. I wonder what his dad said after that.
Oh, I guess he was in the boss office and was like, no more questions.
No more questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Go be cute somewhere else.
So those are our GOATs for this week. Again, we do this every week. Our greatest of all time, at least for this week. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show. It's our cleanup segment. It's coming up next.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Clean up on aisle 3.
But we're going to need a cleanup on aisle 3.
Clean up on aisle 3. I got it.
Testosterone spill on aisle 4.
Clean up in all the aisles.
This is the cleanup segment, mopping it all up. If you notice in the show, we didn't do NFL. That's because it's the off season and no one really cares. But a little NFL news plays off the whole Heatley watch. Oakland Raiders to Las Vegas. It's official. And back we're doing 2019?
2019?
2019. I believe it's
That's
2019.
crazy.
Yeah, we're doing a boys trip.
Yeah, we're going to go out and see Golden Knights hockey
If they're
game,
still there.
If they're still there. And then we'll watch a Raiders game in Las Vegas.
Go Raiders.
One quick point on that is,
if you
live in Oakland, why would you even spend $1 on this team in the next, I don't know how long? San Francisco is already saying, hey, Oakland fans, come jump on our bandwagon. We'd love to have you.
Yeah,
why
but
would you
who wants
spend
to cheer
any
for
more?
San Fran?
Why would you spend any of your hard-earned money on a team that is going to be like, see ya in the next couple years?
I don't know.
Oakland is they're a competitive team too. I mean, they could make some noise if they stay healthy in the playoffs, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years.
No.
Why would you invest your money or time? The NFL is never going back to Oakland, and that's probably a good thing. But now, where is the Oakland A's going to play stadium-wise? They're going to have to figure out a whole stadium situation.
Yeah, actually, you are correct. It might go even to 2020 because there's no stadium ready in Vegas yet. So who knows if that's gonna be done in time for
just
the
build it on top of T-Mobile, where the Golden Knights are going to play.
Absolutely. Daly was not happy about the NFL coming.
Well, Daly is first
there. Absolutely. Especially because the Raiders are getting a whole bunch of public money. $160 million or something like that.
That's hockey in the States and football in the States.
Well, yeah.
What's a bigger seller there, I guess?
Well, I guess so.
Who's going to be a fan of the Raiders in Las Vegas? Who lives in Las Vegas? Nobody. Nobody lives there.
People live in Las Vegas.
You'll get the traveling fan. You'll get the guy passing by. But you're not going to get like the hardcore homer, like this is my team since I was 10.
Well, everybody's going to drive up from Oakland.
Oh, yeah. Good luck getting those guys to do that.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of corporate probably stuff. I mean, it's going to be similar to the Knights, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
could be.
All the casinos, buying up boxes, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It could be interesting. I'd love to go down to Vegas for a hockey game and a football game. We're doing it. What do we got next?
We've got Rachel Holman. Bringing home the hardware.
Best female curler in the world right now.
Absolutely. Gold in Beijing there. And in deciding fashion. She went undefeated all through the preliminary rounds, everything like that, and she brought home the gold.
Very, very impressive. And what's unfortunate about it, though, is that
I couldn't put her as my goat because we wanted that little kid. I'm changing it.
Changing it to Holman. But nobody was there to see it.
Yeah.
Nobody was there to see it. Curling will never go back to Beijing. Sorry, Beijing, but you did not support.
It was too early in the morning.
It was too early in the morning.
To watch it on the TV.
Well, for us to watch on TV, but live, there was nobody there.
Yeah,
so the stadium was empty. So sorry, Beijing, you're not getting.
You got to do it in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, your Dutch soccer team.
Yep, they have gone. They've gone. Oh, well, it's been World Cup qualifying, as most soccer fans know, this past week, and the Dutch, of course, they're not going to make it. We pretty much know that. But they have fallen to a new low. They're now ranked 32 in the world. I don't even know how many teams make the World Cup, but I don't think it's 32. And they are that low now. The FIFA rankings are really weird.
Tell me what Canada gets there.
Like this team, well, Canada's ranked probably in the hundreds, I think. Perfect. But I mean,
girls are good.
Canada could probably beat the Dutch at this point right now. That's how bad they are. It's embarrassing. It's a new low for this team. They fired their coach, and their old coach was sitting in the stands.
Signing up or what?
Their old coach Louis van Gaal was sitting in the stands in their 2-1 loss to Italy a couple days ago.
Oh.
So they're kind of, he's a former Man U coach. Might be coming back. But there's got to be a lot of changes in the Netherlands in terms of soccer. They got to rebuild.
Yeah.
And more soccer, TFC.
Oh, yeah.
We'll mention that again
Friday.
really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, home opener
TFC.
on Friday.
Oh, well.
So go out to support them.
Yeah. Speaking of support, we got to touch on this. USA, women's hockey.
They have fine.
They folded.
They folded.
It
was because of us.
Yeah, it was absolutely because
of us.
Yeah, we put some pressure on
They reached
that.
a 4-year deal.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, I was interesting to see. Tournament opens Friday. Watch it. Canada, US, Friday night.
So do you think if they didn't technically fold, quotation, then do you think they would even be going? Do you think that they would have given them a deal?
Well, it sounds like they were going down and down into lower levels, trying to recruit girls to come play for them, and everybody was saying no. Everybody was turning them down. All the girls, college girls, everything like that, were turning down.
That's good.
Which, I mean, it is good, but if you're a college girl and somebody approaches you from USA Hockey saying, "Don't you just go?"
I would say no, just because the respect factor.
I don't know.
You're trying to get this program on the map, and you're trying to. I mean, maybe that college girl will eventually be in that program, and she'll be in the same position where she wants funding.
Maybe.
Would you want B players coming up to take your job?
Scraps.
Probably not.
The Replacements.
Yeah, the scrubs.
Great
like
movie.
it's
Keanu Reeves.
I mean, I'm glad because this is going to be USA Canada again in the final, probably. But it's good to see that they're going to be in for another.
For sure,
4
they
years
deserve it. They do deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got?
That's all I got.
That's all we got.
All we got.
Well, I think that was a pretty darn good show.
We did okay.
We did okay.
We're back. Healthy, fully healthy.
We're back and healthy, and we're raring to go. Playoffs, NHL, NBA heating up, and MLB season is starting up, so it's a really busy time of year for us here at Sports Chatter.
Absolutely, heating up at the right time.
So we'll also wrap up March Madness next week as well. Keep watching, keep following, and keep subscribing on YouTube to our Sports Chatter YouTube page, and we'll see you next week. This has been Sports Chatter with Bax and Patter.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
I thought he was okay. Just okay.
It's not good, eh?
Terrible.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.